Welcome back. It's been a little break between our last series, but it is like a mini LAN over in China. They've got the qualifiers all underway, but we're back again. ESL One Hamburg, Chinese qualifiers, LGD, LFY, up against VGJ.Thunder. We're into the quarterfinals, best of threes. The winner of this goes into the semis. And these two teams have met recently, not too long ago. And it was pretty interesting, the battle between them. LFY defeated VGJ.Thunder. Okay, I've got to stop. They defeated Thunder. It's just the most awkward name to say. They defeated Thunder 2-0 in the winner bracket final. And Thunder then went to the lower bracket, obviously, and came back through to the grand finals, where they then defeated LFY 2-1. In the winner bracket final, LFY had Lich both times. And they won both times. A few little funny picks here and there. There's a Clinks, there's a Doom, a Deucer. But I think Thunder, pretty much par for the course. The Oracle DP, the Omni Knight, the Sven. Very kind of common picks for China right now. But then in the grand finals, we saw a lot of Troll, bit of Sniper, Bloodseeker here and there. Lycan and Timbersaw came out in the final game. And these two teams are kind of different from the rest of the Chinese teams in terms of their versatility and kind of dynamic picks at the end. You know, their 10th pick suddenly come out with Timbersaw. Here's a Lycan. We're going to pick Ursa still, or a Sniper, or a Bristleback. You know, they're kind of taking and adapting little nuanced picks from maybe older metas to try and counter and fit around what they have. But nothing new, nothing different here. Night Stalker, AA, Nyx, Lich. 4 bans, pretty simple. As Earthshaker, that flexible pick taken up by VGJ.Thunder, along with the Bat Rider to deal with the Arfu Earth Spirit, which is obviously his signature pick. Now, following through from Earth Spirit, you know, you've got a lot of avenues that you can go down. You can think about picking your 5 support. You can maybe think about taking your offlaner, but you've shown your 4-roll. You know, you've shown your ganking hero. So to pair with that, they're going to go with a Death Prophet, and this mid lane is really a massive pain in the backside to deal with. You know, Thunder, they're going to have to kind of maneuver and maybe shift their draft to deal with it, or they just pick a hero that's going to sit there and say, whatever, I don't care. You know, the Sniper, the DK, something that kind of sits there and trades farm, doesn't care about getting pushed back, or has enough tankiness and regen to kind of sit through the lane and deal with it that way. Puck is still out there, but there's the Oracle ban, which pairs up really nicely with the DP. We've seen that a lot in China over the past 3 weeks to a month. Just being able to save the Death Prophet and keep her alive during the exorcism, because she is so squishy and open to getting nuked down. Silencer, that kind of blanket of safety when you've got Bat and Earthshaker, 2 very strong initiators. Kind of keeps you going and make sure that it's not just a one and done. You do get to have the flow of the fight going your way. And against an Earth Spirit who's so heavily reliant on casting, you know, multiple spells, chaining his abilities over the space of 3 or 4 seconds, Global Silence is just a pain in the backside.
LFY's turn to ban.
Weaver taken out. Very good against Lincoln's, very good with Lincoln's, and very good against the Bat Rider in lane. You can just, you know, throw the 5 support with a Weaver into like level 2 or 3, and then Weaver can just 1v1 the Bat Rider. Throw Swarm on Bat, you Shikuchi, you buy a wand, and everything is glorious in that lane. So that's another good ban. 4th ban for LFY though. What do you aim to take down here? They've shown their 3 and 4 now. Earthshaker and the Bat Rider. Their offlaner and their kind of, you know, 4, the not greedy support, but the kind of farm prioritized support have been taken up. You could look to ban another 5. I don't think you're scared of too many mid heroes. You potentially think about, you know, the Dragon Knight or the Sniper, like I mentioned earlier. That they could maybe think about picking for that mid lane. There's other heroes out there. I was wondering about the Faceless Void. Faceless Void is a super spooky hero. Maybe a little bit stronger for LFY to pick here with the DP and the Earth Spirit than it is for VGJ. Not sure how well Chrono synergizes with the Bat and the Earthshaker, but it is one of those stop and reset abilities that is pretty good against DP and Earth Spirit. Again, just being able to slow down the pace of a fight, make sure that you can get all your spells out. They are thinking long and hard about this one. They don't want a repeat of last time. They don't want to get knocked out 2-0. This is single elimination, remember, in the ESL Hamburg qualifiers. So there is no lower bracket for them to fall down into. So this best of 3 is important for LFY, seeing as they got knocked out of that PGL Open by VGJ.Thunder. It's so hard when you see the team name, you just want to say VG Gaming J.
LFY
Feels good. Visage. So there's their 5. Took them a while to think about that. Visage Familiar's very good at scouting out, you know, Earth Spirit if he's hiding in the trees. Lots of nuke damage from that Soul Assumption into the Death Prophet, who is very squishy early on, pretty susceptible. But it combos up nicely with the Bat Rider. Now they have 3 heroes that kind of enable each other. You know, Bat and Earthshaker can go for a smoke in the mid game with a couple of blink daggers. Visage can maybe be split pushing and showing on lane while you've got these 2 smokes behind him. Then you can make plays around him because Visage is so tanky. Once he gets a few levels up in the Gravekeeper's cloak.
Radiant team.
They've got a bit of a vision game going with Familiars and the Firefly. So potentially they'll have the scouting advantage as long as they can gain a bit of map control. But you look at LFY right now. Earth Spirit, lane dominator. Rubik, able to steal Fisher, Firefly. There's a couple of really sick spells he can take here, actually. And then DP, of course, the great tower pusher. No real saves behind the Death Prophet, though. You know, with that Oracle banned out, it is going to be down to this Earth Spirit Rubik and the off-laner from LFY to keep the DP alive. And I do still wonder about that Faceless Void. Maybe the Clockwork, but we don't see Clockwork 3 that much anymore. Very often a 4 role, still played in China, roaming around in place of, you know, Night Stalker and Nyx when they get banned out. Otherwise, looking at offlaners, you could maybe consider the Abaddon or the Legion Commander. Legion Commander could be big here for LFY.
LFY's turn.
VGJ go for the Sven. Even more very quick burst damage to deal with the Death Prophet. Again with a God Strength, a Mask of Manas, even an Echo Saber if you want to go that way. Plenty of lockdown for them to actually keep Sven relevant in the team fights as well. Not going to get kited too heavily. And it's going to be Tidehunter. So they're not going to go for the straight up Dispel on that lasso. Instead they'll go with a Tide who can buy the Pipe, the Mech, maybe a Force Staff. But the Ravage is going to be the key thing here. That reset tool that I was looking for from the potential Faceless Void pick, Tide. It does offer you that, but it also offers some lane pressure into the Sven at the same time. If you have the Earth Spirit roaming between mid and top, which is the most common now, I think rarely we see Earth Spirits, unless they're forced to go there, go to the safe lane. If there's like a mid lane hero that they literally cannot gank, then they'll decide to maybe TP safe lane and maybe smoke up towards the off lane. But here it looks pretty good so far. Void is still banned out. Could have been the 1-roll Void, so they do remove that threat, which was still available for them. Would have had plenty of ultis there to throw into the mix of LFY. And it's just the mid hero remaining for Thunder now, right? I don't think we see Visage mid at all in China. It is pretty much 100% just played in that kind of hard 5 role. A little bit of a specialist hero, but most 5 players can still use it relatively well. Mid lane heroes against DP Earth Spirit with the help of Visage. And hopefully with no good spells for Rubik to steal. This is a tough one. If you want to maybe take the game a little bit longer, you could think about the Invoker here. You've got a couple of good setups for Sunstrikes early on. EMP Tornado is very good at disrupting these pushes as well. Great against Tide and DP because you burn through that mana quickly. And you kind of slow down the push by killing off creep waves with Tornado. Also offers some pretty nice split push with Familiars and Forge Spirits, just being able to move around the map a little more freely. And the only catch here that LFY has so far is the Earth Spirit, but Medusa's going to get banned. So there's the other tanky hero. I mentioned the DK. We kind of touched on the Medusa looking at the drafts from the other day from the PGL Open Qualifier. And Medusa was one that did come up. So that will be the tanky Mistress removed. Won't be able to pick that in the mid lane, and there's a good old building hitter to go along with the DP. Troll Warlord Pre-BKB on Sven, those whirling axes actually are incredibly important. Also a natural BKB carrier himself, so not going to be too susceptible to the Batrider and Visage nuke damage once you get to that kind of 25-30 minute point in the game when they start throwing their spells at you. That's mid-hero though from Thunder. What do you do here? In China we've seen, you know, a lot of Leshrac and stuff like that. I don't know if that's maybe a little too squishy here for this game. Pugna's fallen off quite heavily as well. OD could work pretty nicely, but they're going to go with it. Oh my god. I'm so dumb. Right, when Necro doesn't get first picked, when Necro doesn't get picked in the first phase, I like, in my head, I assume it's banned. Oh, I bet chat is just screaming at me. Necrophos, okay, there we go. Great. So they got nuke damage to go into the Reaper Scythe onto the DP or the Troll. That's pretty nice. Tanky. Very, very tanky. And there isn't that much nuke damage here from LFY, right? Earth Spirit, DP, sure they can poke and prod a bit. There's a Fade Bolt there. But if you're able to get the Ghost Shroud and a Magic Stick charges off, maybe a Death Pulse, I think Necro is pretty happy with this, especially when Troll is just that raw physical damage dealer, just from his right clicks. How did Necro get through to the 10th pick? It's actually blown my mind a little bit. Alright, let's not forget to change the overlay this time. There we go. Oh yeah. And since we're not on a ticket, let's quickly just choose a hero and we're going to follow the Rubik. Since there's not a ticket, I'm just going to change this to... Oh boy. Let's get rid of those. So. Arfu. Already with a good observer ward down. Oh, come on. Why didn't it edit? Come on, baby. LFY. And this is VGJ. Oh, it's not going to fit. Thunder. We'll just write Thunder there. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. There we go. LFY against Thunder. Excellent. Oh, hello. What's happening up here? Rupert Control having a bit of a scrum there. Scrapping with Sven and Earthshaker. They've already lost about half their mana. Still holding on to a mango on the Sven. A couple of clarities here and there as well. Batrider even joins in for the fray. 5 Radiant. Is it really? 4 Radiant heroes. Necro is the one down towards the bottom lane. So we're going to have that 5-roll Visage.
The battle begins.
I'm going to go maybe an aggro tri-lane here. Batrider mid. Let's go. Let's go. Gets the bounty rune, but immediately jumped on by Arfu. Chased in. Sticky napalm's there. There's no rolling boulder now for 10 seconds, and with a good Fissure, this should be first blood. Arfu, oh, he went for the risky play. So often we see the 2 supports, you know, go for a smoke up here to catch the mid laner as they're coming up the hill with a bounty rune. But only one of him there. There's only one Earth Spirit. Unfortunately gives his life away. Batrider now comes to lane with not just the bounty rune, but also a ton of money from that first blood being shared across. Down at bottom, it's a an aggressive tri-lane down here. The Sven gonna need some defensive tools. As Visage does make the long wander over with the Earthshaker. So they leave Necro in a 1v1 against the Tidehunter. Earth Spirit found again. Arfu being chased down by the Earthshaker and the Visage. Gonna have to roll away. Having to use your rolling boulder there defensively. Not really ideal. And there's the Bat and the DP trade lives mid lane. Ooh, that's pretty sick. If only we'd seen it. Alright, there we go. I'm having a few little brain lag issues. Don't worry, guys. We'll sort it. Bot lane, just Rubik harassing into the Sven, but not really accomplishing too much. I don't know about this bottom lane. With Soul Assumption level 1 from Visage, the damage output of the Radiant like massively outstrips the Dire, it feels. As long as they can focus down one target. Sven is rolled upon. There's the Whirling Axes, but a 2-man stun means that they have to do slow down just a touch. That Fisher blocked off the Rubik a little bit. Sven is still relatively healthy, but I guess even if there isn't that magic nuke damage burst as much from the Dire, they've got the Troll with the Whirling Axes. The Blind does play a pretty big part. The damage reduction from Fade Bolt. And Rubik's level 2 already. Wait, did he just cancel a Clarity out from Sven? That's unfortunate there.
Yes.
And this Necro is just going to have an amazing time top. Tide with the Anchor Smash is going to get plenty of CS, of course. Tons of levels. But Necro should win out in the end as Earthshaker with an Invis Rune eyeing up this mid lane. Here comes the Fisher, lands it up onto the DP. Couple of sticky napalm stacks, but the Spirit Siphon is there to drain a bit of the life back. And this DP is not dying. Arfu does come in with a little bit of a save there, but I don't think the Death Prophet was under too much pressure with a couple of stick charges. Looks like she's perfectly fine just to walk it off. Very awkward mid lane though. DP getting doubled up on in CS here by the Batrider. Oh, just the ranged troll being able to right click in here to the Sven. Actually able to out CS and outmaneuver this lane. Earthshaker, of course, did make the rotation mid, and he made it first, so Earth Spirit was still lurking around on the bottom lane for a touch. And Batrider collecting bounty runes now. Returns to the mid lane. Spirit Siphon's there. Just a bit of harassment from the Batrider. Should be able to get another napalm stack up. No, decides to go for the creeps instead, securing the CS, more important. With a 4-minute rune, is it going to get stolen? No. Bot lane, Illusion, found by the Earth Spirit. So it does get removed from the hands of the Batrider. The bottle now empty. And Bat, feeling that the rune is bot, or knowing that the rune is bot, seeing the DP go there and not actually collecting anything, makes the maneuver towards this bottom lane where a fight's kicking off onto the Visage. There's the lift into Fade Bolt. But Visage is tanky. Even with a Boulder Smash, they're still not able to bring the Visage down. Gets a Soul Assumption off just before the death. But in comes the Batrider, sticky napalm with the Firefly. Troll Warlord being chased. The Whirling Axe is out, the mischance is applied, but that Stormhammer surely has secured his demise as they bring down the Troll. That 1-for-1 definitely paying off dividends for the Radiant team, but it cost them a Batrider rotation. And this Bat with no mana and no HP, maybe going to struggle to return to the mid lane. Going to need a Clarity or something. Shrine's up in 10 seconds. That'll do the trick. That'll do the trick. How's his top lane going? Oh yeah, it's a Necro. Tidehunter says I'm out. I'm out of here, guys. I can't deal with this. Doesn't have Gush or anything, but that Bash maybe opens things up. He's got Ghost Shroud on the Necro with 12 stick charges. Never mind. You're never catching him. He's gone. And with the Troll moving up to top with the Rubik, they'll try and secure the farm, get a bit of jungle going as well, get some stacks and pulls. With aggressive tri-lanes versus defensive tri-lanes, you see it here. 0 last hits on 3 of the supports, 4 on the Visage. No one's farming, no one's getting experience, just leeching from your carries is pretty much all that's happening there, trying to keep the status quo as it is, and I hope people don't die. Visage holds the mid lane now as Batrider has spent a lot of time moving around collecting runes, and I don't know if he's going to be stacking this jungle for himself. It's an interesting Batrider game with a 2-1-2 build, a Flame Break of course with tons of damage, but the knockback effect is huge as well against heroes like DP. Being able to kind of unposition them or deposition them. If they're looking to play aggressively, Telekinesis sends the Bat back, so the rotation from the 2 supports here not going to accomplish anything. The DD rune at the top spot, picked up by Arfu. Death Prophet not going to get her hands on it. So this leaves the Sven in 1v1 against the Tide. But the fact that Tide was 1v1 against Necro earlier on means he's level 6, he's got 3 points in Anchor Smash, and Sven's level 4. Sven actually can't handle this. He can't 1v1 this lane, so they've got to try and make a kill somewhere else. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can even kill this guy. Oh, with a Bat Rider. I thought that was the Visage coming in, but with Bat Lasso, this is a potential kill on the Tide. They're gonna get a couple of sticky napalm stacks up, and with the Lasso, if you throw it out here, you maybe get the kill. But he's holding on to it. There's the Warcry, moving speed forward. Another sticky napalm up onto the Tide. Lasso now comes in. Spirit Siphon actually thrown out there. As did Tidehunter really just Kraken the Lasso off instantly? That's the saddest thing ever. So that's what they were waiting for, I guess. They're waiting for the Kraken pop, and then they want to lasso him back. But level 2 Kraken Shell, he's like, nah, dude, this is not happening. You can't. Can't kill a Tide to go in onto top lane. Necro found here and rolled upon. Good Fisher, though, out from the Earthshaker. He wants to get in with another enchant as well, but Alfu stuns up the Necro, so there's no Reaper Scythe onto Troll just now. They'll throw it in onto Alfu instead, but he's got a raindrop, so he's still alive. He can maybe roll away, but he's not finished off. Death Pulse. Death Pulse. Chased him all the way. Caster show fantasy points. Which one? There you go, guys. 0. Everyone has 0 fantasy points. Let's have a look. And yeah, again, aggressive and defensive tri lanes. The Dire team definitely coming out a little bit behind there. 4-3-3 across there. 1 roll and their 2 supports, whereas the Sven is actually moving up closer to level 6. Rubik just hunted down there and chased in between the tier 1 and tier 2. But I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see the net worth. It's like 8 minutes in. Sure enough, there you go. Bat Rider up at the top in farming jungle. Found himself 4 kills so far on this Bat Rider. Farming the jungle a touch, but that's Blink Dagger and 100 gold. This is a pre-10-minute blink on the Bat from the mid lane. Death Prophet, sure, you're not too far behind in net worth. You've taken the tier 1 bottom lane. But key core item-wise, you know, this Yule Scepter is still a fair distance away. You've got Phase, you've got Null. Small kind of incremental items building you up to the Yule Scepter and then into the BKB or whatever you want to go for. And it's probably going to be a BKB this game. Can definitely see the Death Prophet needing one. Maybe as a 3rd item, Yule's... no, I think Yule's BKB is probably good. Get the movement speed and obviously the active, the Yule Scepter, then the BKB will give you the safety you need. With no saving heroes behind you, you will need that. As Tidehunter goes for the classic Soul Ring. We're seeing a lot of Soul Rings on offlaners nowadays. You know, the old Puck, the Tide, even Bat Riders just being able to spam out their spells more efficiently with the active. But the passive HP and mana regen is honestly pretty nice as well, as top lane Necro might have to use his Ghost Shroud here as the second Spirit Siphon does arrive. Death Prophet chasing in. Silence onto the Necro. This might be a kill, but it's a level 1 Crypt Form only. Fisher now locks in the DP. Oh, nuked out. Not dead just yet though. They need another blink forward. The Bat Rider here arrives. Runs forward. Oh, the Spirit Siphon not quite enough. Very nearly kept the Death Prophet alive, but 2 points? No, 1 point in Enchant Totem, where the 2 points in the Aftershock seemed like it was enough to kill off the Death Prophet. So again, the aggressive play there coming out from the Dire team, a little bit overzealous. LFY not seeming comfortable in this game. Troll rotating from one area to the other. Sven popping his ulti, but it's a dive on top that we have to watch. There's the Fisher with the Visage Birds going in. They've so much damage. Rubik is shredding. Look at him. He's going to get stunned now. The Ravage comes out. Rubik's gone, though. And this should be surely a Tidehunter dying as well. Earthshaker enchants him up, and here comes the Reaper Scythe. Takes him out of the game. Deleted. As Sven's farming jungle. VGJ.Thunder. Absolutely stellar start to this game. Necrophos already very close to the Veil. Just needs a couple of 100 more to get the Helm of the Iron Will. And there really isn't too much pressure here from the Dire. They sure enough took their bottom tier 1, but it's not stopped Sven from farming Ancients, stacking up camps for himself. And Death Prophet has had a pretty slow start so far. 1, 2, and 0. Went for that... We'll come back to this actually, yeah. Went for the 1-1-4 build in the Spirit Siphon. Against the Bat Rider, you pretty much need it. You know, you've got the Roaming Visage and the Earthshaker potentially hunting you as well, so having all those charges, all of the extra life drain as well is pretty important, honestly, over the nuke damage of Crypt Swarm. But not having that level 2 Crypt Swarm there, you look at the damage increase, it doubles from 75 to 150. That's a huge increase in damage. Not having that there for these fights, pretty devastating as... Oh, Earth Spirit's caught. in absolute no man's land down in the Radiant jungle as well. Sven helps out his buddy Batrider. That put him 5, 1, and 3. This Batrider is just sliding to victory. Silas Sven farming away. Ghost on the Batrider. 4 staffers, what, like half done now with the 500 gold saved up? Beautiful stuff, but oh, hello. Earthshaker, he's, oh yeah, 1400 gold. He's saying, I don't need arcane boots. I don't need any of that nonsense. Soul Ring and, Soul Ring, Tranquils, no. Blink Dagger is what I need right now. We need another initiation tool to go with the Blink of the Bats, but this smoke out from the Dire, they're looking for a cheeky pickoff. Earthshaker is the only one kind of showing on any lanes, and he'll be rolled in on. Tier 1 tower is no safe place for you. Well, that's a 4-man smoke, 4-man rotation in. They have to secure this tier 1 as well. Exorcism ready, there we go, let it rip. But in the meantime, you look at Sylar, he's popping ulti for tier 1 bottom lane. This trade out from the Radiant, they're going to be pretty happy as long as they get tier 1 for tier 1. And maybe they can set up for a fight mid as well. Ravage is up now, just comes off cooldown. Earthshaker respawning as well in a couple of seconds. The Flame Break to try and chip away at a little bit of the HP of the Dire here. But yeah, they're setting up for a fight. Fisher's ready. Try and stop them from taking this freely. The deny on the tower from the Visage as well. Birds beat Ghosts. Get wrecked, DP. They didn't lose their tier 1 down the bottom lane though. Tidehunter did TP away for that to defend against the Sven. Sven Maskermanis with a TP scroll, but look at this. They defend their tier 1. They immediately smoke out, looking for the aggressive play. Up to this shrine in the southeast part of the map. And I think they've seen the Death Prophet, yeah. They've pinged her out. They've Blink Lasso. Spirit Siphon onto one of the frickin' Prowlers, but in comes the Magnetize. That's a great play by Arfu. He'll save his Death Prophet, but he'll lose his life to the Reaper side. Death Prophet now fished up, the 2-man Fisher. Rubik Corn as well with the Echo Slam in. They're going to kill off 3. Oh, VGJ. 3 for nothing. Perfect team fight, and you know what? In the meantime, we're going to come back to Sylar again. He's farming, he's pushing, he set up this lane to pressure into the tier 1, and the rest of his team, they can capitalize. They've got 2 lanes actually moving into tier 1 towers, so they'll go for the easy one. Tide already being bottom lane means that if he wants to defend tier 1 mid, he's going to have to TP or walk there. The fact he doesn't have a TP, which obviously the Radiant have seen, means he'll have to walk there. That's a really smart play. Because if they push this bot tier 1, Dire are just going to TP in one by one. They'll Ravage. They'll set up a team fight. There's the TP from Tide, but they just back up a little bit. Okay, the tower looks like it's going to get denied here. It's still opening up this map, though. With the 2 mid-tier ones now down, means that Roshan is a little more open. It's definitely this avenue here, though. Being able to go through here, catch people out in this area, but opening up the Ancients and this jungle. Very, very important. Next step, obviously going to be that tier 1 bottom lane, but the Radiant just going to sit back, relax a little bit, try and farm up the Necro, get it into that Radiance as quickly as you possibly can. But they're also farmed Sven. I do worry when I hear that God Strength sound. Like, shit, is he killing someone? Is he going to go, yeah? Is he going to go kill someone? No? Just killing some creeps. Now, does he go I assume you just go Blink this game, right? There's no need to go Echo at this point. You can go back for Echo if you really feel that you lack that instant burst damage, but having the triple Blink threat of Earthshaker, who's now pretty much got his, but he's just farming top lane freely. There's no pressure top. Troll is farming jungle because of how afraid he is. The rest of the Dire are now trying to bait the Tidehunter and play aggressively forward in front of them with the Exorcism up so they can take this tier 1. You know, they've already pre-warded all around here to make sure they're not going to get backstabbed. Arfu is playing that kind of frontman role, seeing who's coming up. But here's the triple Blink. Bat, Earthshaker, Sven. Genuinely, how do you stop this?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Now it's your time to shine. If LFY can break even or potentially win this team fight against the triple Blinks of the Radiant, there's something wrong with this world. Very intelligently, though, they're going to back up. They're going to retreat all the way through the Radiant jungle, back behind their tier 1 bottom lane. This, oh my god, there's an observer inside the shrine. Are you kidding me? I thought people had stopped doing this. I've not seen it in a long while. So there is actually some vision here. Maybe they'll be able to spot the retreat, but it looks like LFY want to go back for another attempt. They've got dire vision now, spotting out the Necro and the Earthshaker, so they know that maybe 2 to 4. They must have seen the Batrider as well, so they know that there are 3 or 4 heroes around in the mid lane. Sven is the only one down at the bottom lane, and he has shown himself to this Dire Observer Ward. He doesn't know about it, though. And the Batrider, oh god, the Batrider invis. He's going to scout everything. In comes the roll. Sven silenced up. Arfu is in, but this might have bought time. The Batrider giving vision now with the lasso in onto the Rubik. They've caught him, and they've killed him. Immediately gone. The chase. Can you catch anyone? Magnetize is going to expire in about 2 seconds. The Boulder Smash does clip the visit, but the Ghost Strength is out from Sylar, and Arfu doesn't stand a freaking chance. 9 stick charges won't buy you enough time to roll away. With the Tidehunter now blinked upon by the Earthshaker, in comes the Sven. They're going to lose 2 here. It looks like 3 down, as the Rubik was the first to fall, who I nearly forgot about because he's already respawned. But a Reaper Scythe under Tide, holding the Ravage and dead for 60 seconds, means surely the tier 1 will fall.
That should help.
Poor Rubik. Go on, 1-3-3-7. Right, that's the best thing you'll do all game. Maybe we'll see some sick Fisher steals. We'll see. But it's so sad to see a Rubik walking around with less than 2,000 net worth. Earth Spirit taking a little bit more farm priority. Needs that Blink Dagger up so they can actually make these fights happen the way they want to. Now, while all that was happening bot lane, I guess the Troll was just farming away, right? Not seen Troll in a long time. He has just been very, very quiet. So Monet clears through about 1 million jungle camps. He's got his Vlads. I do wonder if he'll finish the S&Y or if he'll go for the BKB. The fights are starting to come a little bit kind of more frequent, right? Start off, it's ulti dependent, but with this Radiant team ramping up the tempo, the fights are really going to start coming through thick and fast. So BKB probably going to be the option here, especially if they lose their next fight. They'll realize that they desperately need the Black King Bar, the magic immunity on the Troll. Roshan is available, of course, and that's something that Troll is always kind of angling towards, is that Aegis. But the rest of his team need to get the control around the pit first, and they will move across to this ramp, getting that little high ground advantage. But with the Visage Familiars able to scout so freely, they're going to walk. Oh yeah, he's sending them already. They're just going to flap themselves over into the Roche pit, spotted out by the Observer Ward, but this should bring an end to the Roche attempt from the Dire. Even with Ravage and X, it's only level 1 Exorcism. This is the issue, the Death Prophet. 20 minutes in, only 1 level in the ult. They clear through the Familiars. They're still trying to take down this Roshan. Tide Ravage is a big threat. He has his level 2 ult. So there is still something to be afraid of here as the Radiant team, but look at this Earthshaker ready with a Blink Echo. He fishes up the Rubik. Here's an instant kill. Stun in from Sven. Clear the Rubik. Done and done. Spells Myth from Earth Spirit. Roshan's not dead yet. They've got to finish this off. In comes the last shot. The Ravage is there, but the Force Stab already. Batrider drags the Troll back into battle. Roshan about to die for the Reaper's Scythe onto Troll. Roshan's going to get stolen, killed by the Dire, taken by Arfu. Somehow he gets the Aegis. Doesn't give it to the Radiant, but the fight's already lost. 3 heroes dead. The 4th one here is going to be the Earth Spirit, who respawns from the Aegis and taken out immediately. VGJ.Thunder. That was superb. Great initiation, great ideas of what to do. They find the Rubik on the northeastern side of the pit with the Earthshaker, and from there on it's smooth sailing. Arfu kind of, spews his spells out, just throws everything to try and save the Rubik. He's like, God, we have to have 5 men here. So he throws them, but the Rubik's already dead. The Radiant had already retreated.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I can't believe Arfu still managed to kill it, right? Dire got the kill. He got the kill as well. So that's still a bit of gold to line the pockets of the Dire team. It's not all doom and gloom, but as a DP troll lineup, that Aegis, especially when you are 16 kills behind, 12,000 net worth behind, that was your one lifeline. From here, it's close to just straight up game over. Necro's going in. He's going to be okay. Ghost Shroud in 7 seconds, 17 stick charges, turns around a fight in fact. 5 seconds until the Reaper side, but do they need it? The Blink Echo, they've caught the 3 of them with a lasso there as well. The 3 gone, and Tide is chased down and pounded by the Batrider. Come on, finish him off. Reaper side, there we go. Avid. GG's called, it's done. It's over. Game 1. VGJ.Thunder. That's just too easy.
Radiant's top tower
Just too
is under
easy.
attack. Radiant victory.
Necrophos last pick against the Troll Warlord. Feels good to be VGJ. Unfortunate for LFY there. Found themselves in a really... honestly, I had forgotten Necro had gone through to the 10th pick. I don't think they had forgotten, but it was probably on their mind saying, shit, Necro's in there, guys. Like, do we pick it? Do we pick Troll? Do we pick Necro? Which one do we go? No. Got themselves stuck in a little bit of a feedback loop potentially with their draft, but that was just so crisp. Super, super crisp out from VGJ.Thunder. Silas Sven, 206, no deaths. Necro in the off lane, of course, started with the 1v1 against Tide, 9-0-10, the score on him. But the Batrider middle lane, the Batrider middle lane was so sick. A Ghost on that Bat started off like, okay, this is cool. You're like trading farm with the DP. Okay, what do you do next? He collects bounty runes, he farms jungle, he leads by like 1,500 net worth, you know, 6 or 7 minutes in over the death profit, forces the DP to go for 1-1-4 build, which honestly probably screwed her up more than it helped her. But it was one of those, you know, moments of, you feel the necessity of it to deal with the Batrider in lane, so you have to go for it, and you kind of just go with the flow of the lane rather than, you know, thinking maybe ahead to team fights that could come in 5 minutes, but you need to be some kind of mind reader to do that. But anyway, game 2's coming up soon. Game number 1 was smooth sailing for VGJ. We'll find out how the rest of the best of 3 goes in a couple of minutes. We'll be back soon.